It is a sad and auspicious occasion, for watchmen tread their last beat, witches don their placards and take to bed. The sun is setting over the Discworld for the final time. The Shepherd's Crown, the last ever Discworld novel, is being published. But before you can start on that last great adventure, you need to turn round and remember the wondrous places you've already been. I am here to remind you of those stories gone by. Here are 40 Discworld novels, recapped in 4 minutes. Discworld, on the back of 4 elephants on the back of a giant world turtle flying through space. Tourist with strange botanical name and boisterous luggage meets cowardly wizard Rincewind. Evil magic book needs defeating, as do creatures from the dungeon dimensions with tentacles where there definitely shouldn't be tentacles. Ultimately, though, you will learn where baby world turtles come from. Not only men can be wizards. Death, who likes cats, takes on an apprentice who really isn't all that good at killing people. The Sorting Hat forces Rincewind off on a merry adventure, but sorcerers have way too much power and it comes with no responsibility. Macbeth, but with less posturing. Tepic must leave Assassin's boarding school and go home to rule ancient Egypt. Can dwarves be 6'6"? Can Captain Samuel Vimes defeat a dragon? Whatever, just as long as no one is any sort of heir to any sort of mystical throne. Eric. Hey, I was born when this one came out. When you make a deal with the devil, only it's not the devil, it's Rincewind, who's been trapped in the dungeon dimensions since the end of book 5. Hollywood comes to the Discworld, but Gaspo the talking dog will never catch a break. Deaf goes on holiday. Magrat Nanny and Granny travel outside their usual haunts and try some fairy godmothering. What happens when everyone believes, but not really in you? Granny kicks elf ass. Trolls and dwarves can be friends, also there is definitely still no king. Deaf's granddaughter encounters music with rocks in it. Rincewind is teleported to an Asia-like continent and runs into Two-Flower and more inexplicably Cohen the Barbarian again. This time with added revolution. The Phantom of the Opera, but with more saucy recipes. You have dwarves and trolls and werewolves in the watch, but not golems, right? Father Christmas goes missing and Death must don the red cape in his stead. We all live in Leonardo of Quirm's yellow going under the water safely device. Also, every war needs a good policeman. Rincewind is still a coward, but this time in Australia. Granny kicks vampire ass. In Ubervold, the scone of stone has been stolen, and werewolves are trying to munch on Vimes. But what if you wrote news down and printed it on paper? Newspapers! No time. But I do quite fancy the idea of dying in chocolate. Cohen the Barbarian and the Silver Horde return fire to the gods. Also the moon landing. The Pied Piper with more badass cat. Les Mis, only Vimes was in a car crash and woke up in 1973. When the Queen of the Fairies kidnaps your brother, it helps to have tiny, drunken Scots on your side. Is there anyone here not cross-dressing? Tiffany begins her witchy studies, only has to fight. The battlefield, her own mind. Moist has a choice, deaf or being a postman. Not really much of a choice. Apparently, even this many books in, dwarves and trolls still aren't besties. Tiffany has a boyfriend. He's kind of the personification of winter. Moist has left a dog in a will. Unfortunately, the dog is left the Bank Morpork. Wizards make a football team. Wizarding football. Tiffany must combat people turning against witches with a little help from Lady Wizard Escarina, who has literally not been seen since book 3. Trolls and dwarves are okay, even vampires and werewolves and golems, but surely not goblins. Terry, it would appear, likes trains. And, shh, I'm not finished yet. Happy reading, guys, and rereading and rereading and rereading. There is so much Discworld and so little time. See you in my next video. Bye, guys.
That if you are the chosen one, boy, it really must stink if you're actually that person. So
and having characters that are desperately trying to avoid it at any
yeah,
cost.
yeah, and if you are stuck.